stuff, and I'm like, but it's steadily, it's happening. So
Yeah.
So
That's
we'll
what
leave
it
it.
do.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I'm happy for you, man. I am. It's good to hear.
Appreciate it.
So, our friend is not here with us tonight.
No. Thoughts and prayers out to MC. Speedy
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah, hopefully he.
Good luck with the suspension.
It seems to happen like that, doesn't
Like
it?
the fourth one in a year, isn't it? MC racks them up.
You know how I stat track a lot of stuff. I don't think I've kept track of how many times he's done it this year.
Yeah.
I know at least 4 at minimum.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But so that'll cut out, a good half hour, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
So we're shooting for 9:45, 10 o'clock. Lot to cover. Lots of good stuff. So let's start the show. All right. Oh yeah, we got to make it official, right? Did it die? I just looked at this thing and oh yeah, I have bad posture when I sit. I get so relaxed just sitting here. All right, here we go. Did I lose everybody? All right, here we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 219 of the Hangout, where we give you positive insight into the world of collecting in a very chilled and relaxed atmosphere. I say we because I'm joined by one half of the two Corys, Mr. Clark. Christopher, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. I consider myself to be the better half.
Yeah.
The less suspended half.
He's good. Yeah. You can definitely feel the presence. He's not here, so you are missed, man. I hope you feel better, man. Thoughts and prayers. But yeah, good show tonight. Lots of stuff to go over. What do we want to talk about first? So what I had was do some. Oh, I can't do it because I forgot to load up the thing. So we're gonna skip one of these segments. But some quick show foreplay. Mezco Newz. There's other stuff happening, but probably gonna cut this show a little bit shorter. We'll talk about the RUMBLR. And then, do you want to do the main topic tonight? How we're talking about? Catch Me Outside. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll catch up with him next time. So, thank you everybody that's here tonight. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. I was looking at the numbers. I always do it for the 24, and then after that, it's kind of like whatever. But everybody's been tuning in. We've had some good segments, good shows, and that's all thanks to you guys. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's see here. Got a bunch of people. That's you, Paige. You can't put your stuff up. Stop. Craig's here. John's here. Son of us here. Good to see you, man. Good to talk to you. I sent him this Camp Low song this morning. I was like, I haven't heard them in a long time, man. Let's see here. Good to see everybody. Andrew Salazar. Well, we'll see how responsible he was today. I'm very interested.
Yeah. I'm always responsible.
Yeah. MC throwing. I'm getting shots. So, yep, you had a seat. Seat was open, man. I should have messaged him and asked.
We just had that discussion.
Right. Well, he's busy right now, He's busy. He's got a lot of good stuff happening. Good stuff. Positive vibes, right?
Good problems to have.
Trying to see if he'll go to San Diego. But like I said, busy guy.
Yeah. So
let's start off first with a little bit of show foreplay. Da, 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 da. All right, so we cover a lot of stuff, good and bad, right? And sometimes the show does get a little bit heavy-handed, with some of the collecting stuff. So I wanted to say, interruption, boom. Thank you to everybody. The streak is broken.
Yeah.
It is broken officially. This year. No. McFarlane, he threw out like 8 things. But no, the streak was broken. I thought that this year, I think this has happened like the last maybe 3 or 4 years. But this year, through a lot of guilt segments, I didn't see anybody really say a bunch of stuff about MezcoCon, exclusives, like when are they going to do it? Any of that stuff, man. You know how much we've been talking about it, or haven't been talking about it since. You know, hey, just calm down, let it ride out. Everybody wrote it, you know, let it ride out, and I think it was cool because this year
Yeah.
they
I
kind of
think
laid it out a
poverty
little bit.
helps.
I'm sorry.
So I think poverty helps.
Poverty, yeah, it did
Yeah,
have
we all
effect.
broke, man. Nobody wants any smoke with Mezco right now.
Mm.
We all broke.
I had somebody message me and say, yeah, now they need to drop the Land Reaper. I'm like, yo, man, they just did a car right now. So yeah, the streak is over. La Legacy. I saw this. I don't know how valid this is, but they're talking about LeBron possibly joining the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, yeah,
Wrong graphic, but that's what they're talking about. And
yeah,
I was thinking to myself, I go, so let's say hypothetically he went there, right?
yeah,
And he won a couple of championships. Would that tarnish his legacy?
yeah.
You think it
Be
would?
like KD. Be like KD. Look at the way everybody looks at KD.
In the now, like later on, you know, when talk starts happening and people start bringing up greatest players and stuff, nobody really talks about Charles, how he switched teams. They just say
Well, Charles
he
never
didn't
won
win.
one either.
That's what I mean. They just go, hey, he never won one.
Yeah, but
Who's
I think
LeBron?
had he like successfully switched and won a championship, it would have got like not an official asterisk, but I think people always look at that like you had to chase a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's different. Look, I'll be honest. Like, I was a really big LeBron guy when he was in Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
but when he left Cleveland, I just couldn't root for him anymore because it was just such the great story. Homegrown kid, he gets drafted to his hometown team. It was
Yeah.
storybook, and then he ruined it.
And can you please?
Is she making you a sandwich?
Yeah. No, I was like talking to Ann because he's gonna start barking.
Oh, I thought Ann was
Uh,
making you a sandwich. I was like, what?
no, I wish.
She finally said it, and he said, "Could you please? Hungry? Want me to make you a sandwich?"
Hey, we want a sandwich? Who could say no? No.
Yeah, yeah. I thought could you please?
No. But so I thought about that, and then I also thought about does he take Bronny with him?
That'll be the question. I think they're a package deal no matter what.
Yeah, I think so too.
You
He's
got to
been doing
take
good
Bronny.
in the
You got to
league.
be willing to draft Bryce.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think that kid will have. I think he's going to be able to make it on his own. I heard he's really good, like
Yeah,
really good and legit tall. I saw Bronny did some highlights in the league and stuff like that. Kadeem said, "What if he went to Cleveland?" I did see that post he made on Instagram where he said going home or something like that.
yeah.
So
Cleveland don't want him anymore. He's like a jilted lover. Like he already came back once, then left
yeah.
a second time. I don't think anybody wants him to come back to Cleveland for a third time.
Do they even have a team? Yeah. But anyway,
Hey, Cleveland's good right now, man. They're good.
they are. They go in
Yeah,
the playoffs. Oh,
yeah, yeah. They had what
I haven't watched.
they had the first or the best record in the league this year, or second best. They were up there,
Hmm.
top three.
I haven't watched really. You know, to be honest with you, there's just something about it
Yeah,
lately. I don't know, but
yeah,
we'll see where it happens with him and how all that legacy stuff falls. Show your work.
yeah.
So here's something I saw. I want to, and we don't have to dive deep into it, but I'm really interested in hearing everybody's thoughts about this. And we talked about AI and everything, right?
Uh-oh.
So with creation and how easy it is for people to do stuff, and then now it's just coming off as like real hackish. Everybody does it, and there's nothing special really about it. Do you think that people who actually put a lot of time and effort into something and they show their work, that is what's going to make you either stand out, or do you think that that is uh, what's going to separate you from AI?
Boy, that's tough question to me because I feel like as AI advances, I think that's the threat that's realistic. Is
Mm-hmm.
that as AI learns our tendencies and likes and getting fed all this information from algorithms and everything else, like AI will have the ability to create content that it knows that people want to see. Whereas for you as a person to sit down and be like, hey, I'm going to do this and see what happens. Well,
Yeah.
AI, obviously with its ability to process, is going to beat any human mind, in my opinion, anyway, when it comes to stuff like that, which is, it's a little bit of a slippery slope, man. Like when you're talking about, wasn't that Timberland that just signed a AI artist?
Yeah, but you saw the backlash, right?
Well, I'm sure there is, because where do you draw the line with that? You
Yeah,
get
and yeah.
once you start doing that with music and things like that, like where do you draw the line? It's dangerous. It's dangerous, man. Like we've gotten into, these are uncharted, territories.
The genie's out of the bottle with AI. We just need to learn how to work with it now. That's the thing. It's like Taskmaster. All
The,
it's
the
doing it
scary
learns.
thing about it is AI's ability to, we're saying work with it. Well, it's replacing a lot of people.
That's what I
Right?
mean. Like it's Taskmaster.
Yeah,
It's
it's
watch it. It just studies, watches everything you do,
yeah.
and that's why it's like, how do you compete with that?
Yeah. Did you hear
And
the
then
thing with
huh?
Grok or whatever yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before?
What's that?
I think that's the name of it, right? Grok, is that the thing that
Mm-hmm.
X uses or whatever?
Yeah.
And I guess there were some messages that it was had created that were anti-Semitic,
Oh yeah, I did see
kind of
that. Yeah, yeah.
pro-Hitler. You know what I mean? Like it's scary, man.
The
It's scary.
crank call, the congressman crank call stuff, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But I get what this is. You got to use it like a tool, like everything else. That's true. But what happens when that tool makes you obsolete?
yes,
A perfect example is Walmart self checkout. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure that was slowly incorporated, and they gave people scanners and said, "Hey, this is going to maximize inventory. We'll be able to track things
yes,
better, order things better." And now you've advanced to a point where you have self checkout, and I'm pretty sure that affected some people's job.
yeah,
It's not that it's not a tool; it's more of something that can replace whatever it is that you're
yeah,
doing. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
And in content creation, because I sat there, I thought about it. I go, as a content creator. I every day I pull up YouTube, there's more AI videos. I can see it, and you can kind of tell
Yeah.
what's AI and what's not. But I was sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, I go, as a content creator, how are you not worried about this? And if you aren't, you should be, because let's say, what separates you right now from somebody else? Let's say, what separates you from the amazing skill set, right?
Um, yeah, yeah,
Skill set,
yeah. That knowledge, that
photos,
experience. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now, what if I told you, like the Matrix, I could plug something in your head, and everything that he did,
yeah,
you're able to do now.
yeah,
What's the difference between you and D?
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah,
Now multiply that by 1,000 Ds.
yeah,
So that's what I mean. Like the question is, how do you? Because I'm telling you, people need to like look out for this stuff,
yeah,
and you should support. That's why I keep saying people should support content creators. But I sat there and I thought, and I said, what is going to separate you from AI?
yeah,
And I was thinking, is it behind the scenes stuff, like showing like your process and
yeah,
stuff, and making it feel more personal?
yeah,
Because somebody else can do a bunch of pictures and whip out a whole bunch of a consensus of what everybody else said about the Rumbler, and they can say the Rumbler is blah 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 blah. We've seen it already.
yeah. It can do that. It can do that.
Yeah.
There's honestly, at the rate that is growing, like there's, like you said, even if you were to say, well, it's all about the personal relationships. Well, it can
Mhm.
imitate those too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's be honest, AI could talk to a lot of more of us at one time than what a person can. So as far as making contact and being able to sustain and maintain relationships,
Yeah.
it's scary. It's scary when you're out there, DMing virtual D. You don't know it's virtual D and not actual D. It's scary, man. But like somebody did say, there's no turning back now. But that doesn't mean that what we've done is going to be a favorable thing for us and just your common man. Like I think influencers and folks like that should be concerned. And even
Mm-hmm.
you talk about like when you're generating content and stuff like Netflix or whatever, right? Like how long is it going to be before we get our first AI movie or series where everything is just generated?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
once you get
mean,
to that point,
it
like how much
started.
money are you saving at that point?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much started now. You can't go to a movie without seeing some kind of like computer generated effect. I mean, if you go, I don't want to go too deep into all this stuff, but like if you went and they were the writer's strike, one of the things that they had in the clause was they were talking about AI assisted script writing,
Yeah,
um, taking like Robert Downey Jr., scanning him and doing all this stuff, doing voice samples and stuff like that,
yeah,
where you're pretty much, what did Dave Chappelle say? He lives in perpetuity or something like that
yeah,
because they own his name. It's the same thing. You scan somebody, like I
yeah,
mean, they've already started doing it with James Earl Jones.
yeah,
He recorded how much
yeah.
just so they could have that character.
Yeah.
AI can't
Even
replace
doing little,
passion.
they've done
And
like
that's the point.
snippets, in movies. They've done snippets where they've taken computer generated just a person. But I'm waiting to see how long it is for you get like your first fully AI generated content. And it, look, why couldn't they create actors? Like it didn't have to be a likeness of anybody, right?
Go to YouTube. All you have to do is go to YouTube,
Yeah,
and I watch a lot of like infographic stuff or History Channel stuff, and I can pick up on it pretty well. But half of that stuff is all AI chatbotted. That's what I mean. Like, and this is a point. Like, AI can't replace passion and natural talent. Maybe, but it can simulate it
yes, it can. Yeah,
after it's learned some. And then also, what happens when your passion and talent? That's the point I'm trying to make. What happens when your passion and talent can't outshine the sheer amount of volume?
yeah,
It takes. I'm doing a build. It's taken me 4 weeks,
yeah,
just like in iRobot.
yeah,
When it takes that guy to make it, when it took that robot to make a chair in what 5 seconds. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
and you can't stop it. It isn't the genie's out of the bottle. But that's what I mean. Like, what do you do like
yeah,
right now?
yeah,
And that's why I'm saying like supporting like content creators like that that are putting in effort or
yeah,
and like really supporting them because
yeah,
that's right now this little block of time we have. I think this is the time when you know who is human and who is not.
yeah,
Like right now.
yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm not trying to be that
Enjoy it.
guy, but
Enjoy this human to human interaction while you got it.
exactly. Here's another thing too, real quick. Okay, say you start getting content and everybody's talking about shills and everything else like that. What happens when you're bombarded with a company that says, you know what, let's just put out a whole bunch of bots that just positively review our product?
Yeah, yeah,
They can't, AI. You gotta be careful with it, man.
absolutely.
I do think showing your work that kind of like humanizes it.
Yeah,
Somebody will see your struggles. Somebody will see the process that you went through. I've been watching a lot more of that. I think what sparked it was like I watched Ryan Coogler and he was just talking about aspect ratios and centers. And I said to myself, I go, wow, this is really cool, you know, because you're
yeah.
getting into this headspace and everything. But yeah, just some stuff to think about. Went too deep with it. Telling you, no shoes for you 1 year. If you are going to San Diego or you are traveling at all, guess what? You don't have to take off your shoes no more.
That's
So
interesting.
annoying. I know, right? At least one good thing came out of this, right? T is for terrific. Again, just to reiterate this, because this is coming. Some of this is like in flux right now because I think was it July. This is really weird. So July 9th is supposed to be the 90-day deadline. But if you really dig into it, it's supposed to be August 1st for certain countries with the tariffs and stuff like that. And then even today, they talked about pushing it back. So it's always ever changing. But the point is that, with everything that's going on, the holidays are coming up. We have some of these things, through different toy companies. Just remember, there's going to be like some changes and increases in prices and stuff like that, which is weird today because I thought that thing was going to be a little bit more expensive. But I'm putting this in here because you'll see a lot of people in the next month or two going, I don't understand why is everything getting more expensive? Why was it 120 and now it's 130? Not saying it's going to
Yeah.
happen, but these are the things. These are the reasons why. And again, FedEx, we know that those are two separate companies, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So FedEx is going to be raising their rates. Remember we talked about this before, and they're saying it's because of jet fuel, regular fuel, handling charges, and everything else like that. But again, that is supposed to take place on August. So just keep that in mind when some of this stuff is happening. It's going to start getting expensive. Chat rate. I bet you have AI scripts already. Somebody else said that. No, no, I don't use AI scripts.
No, I think they're saying. I bet you there's movies that are already using AI scripts.
Oh yeah, I have heard that. That's what the writer's strike was about. They said that they wanted to have AI assisted script writing or have uh they wanted to have that as an option.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff, man. Is Hasbro still using AI or was that a rumor? I didn't hear about that. I did not hear about that. I thought he was saying that because somebody said that to me today. They said they
They
go,
accuse you of being AI.
yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. You know how I'll write a paragraph or something, right?
Yeah.
And this guy said something about he goes, for the price of RUMBLR, I think it would have been better just to get an RC car. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, I'll dive. So I said, I don't know. So it's not worth it, the price. And I go, so it's subjective. I go, if it's worth it to you, I said, I wouldn't personally spend that much money on RC car. I go, it doesn't have lights. It can't hold 6 to 8 figures. I don't need an RC option. There was like a list of stuff, and then I said something like, it doesn't fit my collection. I was like, and plus, I don't think I said, oh, it comes with customizable pieces. I go with an RC car, you'd probably have to invest more time, money. And then I said, and you don't get a figure. I said, to say it worth it. I go, that's subjective. I go, it's worth it to me, and I buy it. I said, it may not be worth it to you. I
Yeah.
said, but you don't have to buy it. I go, so it's a win-win. And he goes, did you just give me a chatbot response? And I go, I'm sorry. I thought we were having a conversation. I didn't know it was supposed to go one way. But
Yeah.
also, I'll write that stuff. But the reason why? It doesn't make sense to me to go back and forth with somebody when you're going to read the same amount of stuff that I'm going to say, just sporadically broken up.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about, chatbot? The summarization, yes. The note taking is all wrong with AI. I'm going backwards. What is this? I'm just catching up with the chat.
Did you keep our price predictions from last week?
I did. I have them right here.
I'll be curious to hear who won now.
I do have them. Hold on a second, really quickly. Because I don't know if Anne's like messing with that thing or what. Can you hear the dog barking?
Yes.
Mm.
Sounds like the dog wants a sandwich too.
Yeah, I did have it. I had it with me. I made sure I had the stuff. But anyway, chat catch up. What is this? So what is it? So the productive printing talks about. Did you know we just? What is it? Then no, I won't trust it. Oh, here, see, Kyle said I've been scammed for movies. That's also for commercials. I remember that movie. That's a good movie. Let's see here. And please,
Sandwich.
sandwich. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is an AI dog that's barking in the back. Did something to me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was fine. What is it? Yeah, I meant not using it. Yeah, sorry, lost in translation on that one. I could not process that quick enough. My AI brain. All right. So now we're caught up. So toys. Toy
That's your
time.
voice in the RUMBLR?
Hmm?
You're the oh shit, it's the RUMBLR guy?
No, that's Alex's kid. Holy shit! It's the RUMBLR!
Oh man.
That was funny. Yeah, his kid did that one. That was, but I had the lines for it, and I read. So, like, what they do is they have the stuff that they want you to say, and so I did it in like different ways, but you don't know what they're gonna choose. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a surprise when I hear it too. And I can't remember if I did like the kid line, but but he told me, he goes, no, I don't need that one. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so when I heard it, I go, holy crap. Because I was like, did Alex? I was like, oh, his kid. I was like, he nailed it, man. It was really good. He did a really good job with that, man. Toy time. So last week during the stream, they had this go up. We'll talk about this really quick. This looks really good. I think the thing that caught my attention with this was the extra stuff. The tavern stuff. Did you get a chance to look at any of this stuff, CC, or no?
I did not. I'm on a bit of a mythic strike. Yeah, I haven't looked at any of their new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I told myself when I was looking at this, I go, what on here is really cool? And this is really cool to me. I like the price point, and obviously get props. And I mean, you don't come across sausage too much, right? And apples, or is that peas or something? It's a Conan thing, but yeah, this is the lineup for Legions. It looks really good. This thing is really tall, but
Not sausage too often. I guess it all depends on who you are. I guess.
yeah, yeah. This looks good. Sometimes I'm kind of glad that I'm not too. What does it say on there on the barrel? In smell and public housing. I wonder if there's some kind of like
That is
sequel.
pretty cool. That'd be a nice accessory probably to go with Conan.
Yeah, all this like this and the all of that stuff. The guy, you got all this stuff. You got the
What was the price
mugs.
of that?
$25.
So you
I
need
like it.
$50 because you can't have just one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you got like 3 or 4,
Yeah.
it's usually. But then they did this thing where they got one of these figures. I don't think I can pull it in. He comes with one too. This little guy.
Yeah.
And then there was another figure that came with something else. It was just kind of like extra stuff. But I saw this. I think it was this guy. Yeah, yeah. Campfire, pan.
Just build it, Paige. What are we even talking about?
Well, I mean, it was. Yeah, I was just looking. I was like, I like the fact that they stuck this stuff in here. It just looks really good. But like you said, I gotta kind of tone it down. I like the bear. Might go well.
See, you'll just 3D print it.
I know. This thing is huge. Oh, here we go. Some better stuff. I have this with Solomon Kane and Conan, so it's not like a big thing. But there you go. See?
Okay.
It all looks pretty cool. I mean, I'll give them credit.
Yeah. A little campfire, little backpack, frying pan. When you kick this little guy, the magic potions come out. Gling, gling. Pop quiz. Remember what game that was? Pop quiz. You know what it is?
Oh man, I remember.
Surprise, you're a voice actor now. Part-time. I'm not a voice actor. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. Look at this. See? Looks good. Anyway. So Mythic Legions are doing the thing. Also, we saw this. Thanks to MC for this.
Yeah. That's a must-have.
5.
Must-have.
Yeah.
Instant buy.
This
And
isn't out yet, but this was shown, right?
yeah.
Oh, here, let's give credit to credit is due. So this is on Reddit, and there we go. Aragon. Aragon busted this. I guess he was at one of the conventions and he saw McFarlane busting this out. I have the Mattel one. I I don't remember. I don't think the front lights up. And this all kind of looks the same to me, like the same quality, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do the doors open?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get this. I might have to get this. So yeah, so the Mattel one, you remember I was showing you? I had to take the whole body off of it. You could slip Batman through the window, but I just unscrewed the chassis and took it all off, and I was like, I'll just stick them in there with that. But at least this will kind of like hold for 6-inch figures.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. I'm gonna get this. You gonna get it right? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, look at the doors. Ooh. Yeah, look at all that. The other one doesn't have all that stuff.
The Mezco Batman's gonna look great in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the. Oh, it's ironic, isn't it? The Mattel one's an RC one.
Yeah.
It all comes back
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one looks nice. It lights up and everything. So yeah. Looks good. Yo, Snow. So I don't know the status of where the Snowcat is. I
It's
think
still
in
not
support.
funded yet.
It's not funded?
It's not. I think it's at like 6,800 still.
That is crazy, man.
I mean, I'm sure it still will.
Yeah. Let me go through some of the chat. But was it the phone comes off the top of those mugs? Oh, all right. So this guy was talking about always great information. He's talking about the foam from the Mythic Legion stuff. He said that comes off. Golden Axe, you are correct. Ding ding ding. Golden Axe. Ding ding ding. Adam, good to see you. I have the Mattel one. Yeah, I like it. I just the doors open and everything. I think that's a little bit better. And you agree? Yeah. See. So
It works out.
yeah. So the Snowcat, you said that that's not funded, right?
Correct. Not yet.
Did you get in on it yet or no?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I am though. I'll get this one. I got.
Is it going to be like a last minute thing, like end of August, like close to the deadline, or?
Yeah, I want to be like the guy that saves the thing. You know what I mean? Like they'll need one more.
you're
They'll need
you're
one
the
more,
deciding vote for the tier unlock.
I'm gonna be number 8,000. I'm gonna be number 8,000 right there. They're like, well, this only got done because of me.
Some guy's gonna be like, it just sucks. It's not happening. CC just comes in. I got us. Don't worry, fellas. I'll make this happen. Yeah. So with I'm bringing this up for a reason. So the Snowcat, it's not funded yet. So I'm bringing it up for 2 reasons. One reason is because this is a pretty cool little post that I saw the other day. Guy was saying, "Oh yeah, we're getting all this stuff. These are some of the snow vehicles that was in the Joe line before." And also because of the price point, I don't like to compare, but obviously that's one of the benchmarks for the pre-order today. So these are some of the things that in the past. So is there something that Arctic wise, because I don't think that they would just do like a 1 or 2 and be done with this. Is there something that you see in the Arctic Joe line that you would like to see or want to see?
I think the Battle Bear would be perfect because it wouldn't be big at all. I mean, that's something you can do real easy. But I really, really want the Cobra Wolf. Like that was my all-time favorite vehicle as a kid. It's the Cobra Wolf.
Is the which one? Oh, the Wolf. Yeah. Arctic Blast. I'm trying to get to the Wolf. This is too big, I think.
Yeah, you're almost looking at another HasLab, but that thing is pretty big.
Yeah, if this was a HasLab, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I'm not. But this is a nice. This is just a nice little kind of like what was it the Vamp. This is a Vamp offering.
Yeah,
This is great, and I would buy 2 of these. This is badass. I love the design. And I don't know about that base nice snake, but you got different kind of troopers and stuff. I just don't see them kind of going into this and only doing one thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this. You see this? Stalker Iceberg? Ice
I'd
Ranger?
love for them to do that. I definitely
Yeah.
had that one.
With this kayak, too. Battle Corps. Yeah. So, yeah, lots of stuff. All right. Let's give the people what they want. Question for you, fellas. Let's do the question first. Do you think Mezco will make a G.I. Joe vehicle, or are they allowed to? I don't know. What do you think?
I bet you they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, one could argue they just did.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument.
Yeah.
I do think that they're using these vehicle offerings as like a measurement of interest.
Yeah.
Are they selling? Do people, you know? And it seems like people. It seems like the feedback for this one was actually really positive, in my opinion. Uh, so going back a little bit, they did say that they were going to do prizes reveals, and they were going to be starting on. Not Mezco has started, but starting on in June, right?
Thought it was over.
And yeah, and this was a pretty big indicator too. Somebody had asked, you know, what happened to the. It's always good to be loud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a passive aggressive comment, you
Yeah.
know. And then so what happened to multiple excuses for MezcoCon starting on June 25th? Is it just once a week? And yeah, we promised multiple exclusives. They're going to be rolling out. So we were at what? 120, one blah blah
Who could
3.
possibly want more?
I saw people commenting, yeah, I hope the Reaper's next. I'm like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. They must have passed on the other 3 offerings.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is interesting because they said they were going to do multiple exclusives. I don't know if it's ended. Maybe they're going to lean into some of their other branding. I did see a comment and kind of relates to all of this. Somebody mentioned, so they did this. Do you think that they're going to have this for sale at the convention? That's the first part of this question.
I don't think so. I think it'd be similar to the mech suit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question would be, would they possibly have Death Adder there as a single release?
Mm-hmm. See,
I could see that.
this is why I have you think.
I could
So do you
definitely.
think that's an option?
I definitely believe that's an option.
Like your own like little void
Which would
cadets
explain
separate?
why in the packaging the Adder box slides into the RUMBLR box. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't all one box; it's a box inside of a box. So that means that there are adders that are boxed separately already.
Yeah.
Did I explain that well? That sounded so retarded in my mind.
No, it's kind of like it was kind of like the Vortex Strike Suit.
Yeah.
You had the mech in there, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then it was just in plastic.
Yeah.
And then when they had the Void Cadet for sale as a single, everything was still the same, but it was an option for people to be able to just buy it. I watched Dee's review, and if you haven't seen it yet, I would say definitely check it out. I know there was that leak review that went up, and we chatted about that. I don't know if that person put their stuff back up or not. I mean, but they covered a lot of stuff in their video, and then I think I don't know if it's live yet, but I saw Bat Bomb. He said that he got his copy, and there's a review on that. I haven't watched that. And then Jay just made it. He did a really cool stop motion video. Shout out to him because I know that takes a lot of time. But in the videos I saw, Death Adder, you know how everybody says, "Oh, this is just Death Adder with an arm slapped on it." Like this, that figure from what I saw just from the video is different than the other one.
Yeah.
So it goes to what you would say, like if they did have that in a single offering, that would be a nice compromise, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Super Citizen says the license he is able to, but he's not going to make the things that have already they already have, which is kind of hard. They do so like most of the big stuff, right? Mezco probably has the same. That would be crazy.
I would imagine there's probably a stipulation in there to where if they did a vehicle, I
Mm-hmm.
bet you there's a certain price threshold you'd have to be over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That way it's not in direct competition.
I was thinking single death at a void cadet. It would suck to carry. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Uh, so I saw a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm just going to wait until it shows up at the convention." Well, you don't know if it is. We don't even know if these three figures are going to be there. They're MezcoCon exclusives, and historically, they do have those. But just like you said with the Vortex, you don't know if that's going to be there. So, I, I personally, I don't know why they would do it because it just takes up so much space.
Yeah.
And from being a part of that event, space is a premium band.
Yeah.
You just and everything is so calculated. It without like giving away too much, you have a certain amount of space, and everything that you see in those cabinets, it's all confined and condensed into this, a certain amount of space. And I'm very surprised. It's easier at the end because you've kind of gotten rid of most of that stuff, like with the figures. But you don't want to be paying a bunch of money for bigger bulk offerings, right?
Yeah.
And then are people really gonna buy it there? I guess they would, right? Plus shipping stock to San Diego, that's true too. Yeah, yeah. Anthony did it. I believe that's a Hawk P40 arm. Yeah, it does look like it. But the thing is with that too is it looks like they fixed that pauldron kind of thing. That was one of the things with Hawk P40. You had to kind of watch lifting them up because it was on that little hinge joint and it would either pop or break. It looks like they just said, you know what, let's just get rid of that. So if it was leaked, do you think they'll get another chance of previewing something from Mezco, or did they screw themselves? I don't know. I guess it would depend on if it was a miscommunication or not. You know, I know that's something that you don't do. What is it? I think it's license 112. Okay, I'm just catching up. This new adder is definitely shorter. It's more articulated, better ankle rocker. Would love a shot at him in a single figure, even the secondary market. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I think the outfit was a little bit restrictive, especially around the ab and the leg area, and it looks like they just kind of like did away with that design. Okay, real talk. We need a Gomez version of Bob Ross. Yes, I agree. But yeah, so they did the stop motion with this. Really cool, um, retro style kind of stuff. There's your acronym in case you get quizzed on it later. And thoughts. What do you got?
Well, let's discuss prices first. Let's start there. Who
Okay.
won the contest? What
All
were the
right.
predictions? You got it?
Are we going by the Price is Right rules?
No, no. It's just who was closest.
All right. I had the piece of paper. I know you're not going to. Oh, here it is. All right. Actual retail price of the RUMBLR and who won. Survey says. It's like two game shows mixed into one. So, CC, you had the actual price that you thought was going to be $400. No, let's do wish pricing. Wish pricing, you said $300. MC said 275. I said 265. For the price prediction, you put 400. MC said 375, and I said 325.
Yeah. Yeah. You get kicked
So,
out though.
huh?
You get kicked out.
I didn't have any information.
You get kicked out. You may not hear exactly, but you get to sense the force. You know,
Hmm.
when there's a disturbance in the force.
It's just a guess, I promise.
Yeah. Just to eliminate the suspense or whatever, I ordered it today.
He's back.
It's funny because I didn't think I would get a chance to, because I didn't get a chance to get break. It was after 2 o'clock.
Hmm.
So I logged on just for the heck of it to see if he was still available.
Hmm.
And I saw the price with free shipping, and my first thought was, holy shit. I didn't even look at the rest of the offering at that point. I saw the price and free shipping, and I was like, you can't. When you back that out, $325
Hmm.
minus $40 in shipping is $285, and then $100 figure, $185
Hmm.
with lights and everything else and the modular stuff. That's killer. That's killer. So it was a pretty it was a pretty easy buy for me. And like I was saying last week, I was hoping it was going to be $400. That way I could be here today and be like, no, I couldn't do it for that price. But with $325 and free shipping, they got me. They got me. Call me a sucker. They got me. And hopefully Gridiron doesn't make any upgrades for it.
Is it bad to say I hope they do?
Yes. I was already I was already looking at it. I was like, I wonder if that command turret that they made for that Phalanx thing that they have, it's like I wonder if that turret would fit inside the Mezco one. Because that turret comes off.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So I wonder if the command turret that they have would fit on there, and you could put a tank cannon on the top of the RUM.B.L.R.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's not find out.
You know what? I would be good with tires. If it was just tires, I know it would be interesting to see if he communicates with Mezco and maybe they work something out. I think that would be an awesome collab. We talked about collabs and companies.
Yeah.
I think it would be great for both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know like the financing part of everything, but everybody loves free shipping. Yes, they do, unless you're an international collector. They got kind of, uh, so I know I did my price point, and I'll be honest with you. When I logged on, I thought it was going to be cheaper. I did.
Really?
I did.
Well, you were very optimistic.
Yeah, but I went with logic. I went with like average prices of bikes, what they did in the past, what they did with the Vortex strike suit. And I thought because the Vortex strike suit, it has a lot of paint apps. There's the lighting and the wiring on that. I can, with just the amount of range it has, I can imagine it's probably a little bit more difficult, to house some of that stuff, and keep it operational. So I was like, okay, I understand that 350 price point.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I said, this other one, it doesn't seem like it's a vehicle, you know?
Yeah.
You have the doors and stuff like that, and you have some add-ons. But I said, and then, seeing some of the paint apps and stuff missing, I said, and then I thought, well, maybe they'll kind of like the discussion that we had before. Maybe they'll kind of lower it. I still think they did in their own little way with the shipping thing. But I thought it was going to be a little bit cheaper, but I think the price point's fair.
I feel like it was a steal. I really think we came out. I mean, considering the mech suit was what 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, around that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things were getting done a lot cheaper then. So I don't think that
2023.
same mech suit would be 350 today. I would almost have to believe that same mech suit would probably cost you $400 to get in the country at this point. You know what I mean? So
I honestly
I
think
don't know.
they took a
325 with free shipping is a steal. That's
yeah.
a steal. I don't think anyone can complain about this one.
I'm not saying I don't think the price point's fair. I just thought it was going to be a little bit lower,
Yeah.
but that was because I based it on everything that came with the mech suit. That mech suit, engineering design wise, It's got like ratchet joints, and you've seen it's not a statue. I've heard a lot of people say that, and as soon as I read that stuff, I'm like, game on. It's not
Yeah.
a statue. I put it on inverted. I put it on two arms. I put it on one arm. It supports the weight. You know, I'm still trying to learn some stuff with it,
Yeah.
but it's you can do a lot with that figure. You just got to be able to explore it. So engineering wise, I'm like, wow. I think they honestly ate some of that cost. I don't feel that that's a 350. I think it's more, but
I'm
I
still
think
shocked we've only gotten one. I think we all
maybe
believe that there'd be other mech suits coming along.
I think maybe it was because of the interest. I think a lot of that drives
Yeah.
how invested they will go on a line.
Yeah. I mean, it's sold out.
I saw it was shipping again. So they had some waitlist fulfillment, but was it Fresh Monkey and Gridiron? Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Jay, I mentioned your stop motion, man. That was really good. It was really cool to see that. He got a lot of different angles, but yeah, the price point I thought it was gonna be a little bit less. Like I said, I'm not saying it's not fair, and I didn't see a lot of people, you know, raising a concern over the price point. But I think what really won all this over was the free shipping. I I think that was a nice little gesture on their part.
If they would have said 275 with $50 in shipping, everyone would have had a fucking fit.
Yeah, because you remember.
Everybody would have $50 for shipping. Are you serious? But you say
Yeah,
325 free shipping. Suddenly, you got a deal.
but it works both ways too, because it's not so. I know everybody keeps attaching shipping to it, and this is a good instance of it. They are offering free shipping, but if they, like you said, if they would have charged, it would have been different because they would have said, "Oh, Mezco is charging us for the shipping." It's like no, but it doesn't. In this case, it seems like it works in their benefit because they said free shipping.
Yeah.
Because you remember I was talking about the mech suit, and I price estimated, like, okay, if I took that and I sent it back to New York, I think the shipping cost for me was going to be, I think it was 65 or $70. If I took it and I shipped it to Washington, it was going to cost me like $100.
Yeah.
So your $60 to $100, you already got that knocked off of this.
Yeah.
And I still think they came down on price a little bit. Obviously they did, but
This thing is a great entry level price for a first vehicle. Great. But everything that you're getting with this thing,
mhm.
it's great.
How do you feel? And I don't like doing this, but how do you feel about all the other offerings from other companies and in terms of this? Do you feel like they kind of looked at it and priced it like that? Or because there's a lot of competition out there.
I think this was priced very, very accordingly. I mean, you look at it, any other 1/12 scale vehicle, it's right in line. If not, like I said, I think they went on the value side because if you back out the price of everything, this is very, very similar to the ramen van. And the ramen van is just a van. There's no lights, there's no bunch of whistles to it. I mean, this thing is got two seats, a cargo area, and it was 175.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a heck of a lot more. Yeah, I don't I don't see how anybody could take a look at that price point and feel like they're not getting what they bargained for. Now, if you just couldn't afford it, I can understand that because I think like 325 is just growing on trees. So I can completely understand if somebody said, not right now. But I can't really think of a cheaper offering that you could really compare it to. I mean, the Hasbro Striker is $100, but it's
Okay.
nowhere near the size that this thing is.
I saw a lot of people so if people aren't picking up on this, like we talked about this for weeks, And especially we hit it home last week, and that was the whole reason for the conversation was looking at this, and if the price point was going to be set at a certain, level, but you weren't getting the amount of details that you would, like let's say with the Vortex Strike Suit, all the paint apps that are on that and everything else,
Yeah.
is that lower price point, does that make it a harder sell for them because there are so many other vehicles on the market?
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to like get across is like I do we're collectors and everybody's finances are different, and then also a lot, it's getting tougher to collect. And I don't think people have separated the fact that everybody wants everything cheap, but if that's what you want, it's it's going to be less of what you were going to get. You know what I mean?
Right.
What did remember I said that before? What did Herm Edwards said? He's like, you got champagne dreams, but beer money. We all want the best deal. Everybody wants it. I want it. I don't want to pay a lot of money, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But there comes a point where when you walk in when you walk into McDonald's and you pay a certain amount, you know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's connected with collectors like that. They want a lot of things, and the company will be like, "Yeah, we'll give it to you, but you're going to have to pay for it." No,
Yeah.
you guys suck. It's like, no, you're asking for a bunch of stuff. It's like a car dealership. You want leather seats, you want moonroof, you want the big block engine. Yeah, I want all that. All right, well, you got to pay for it. No, I want it at the coupe price. It's like, no, you can't do that. So,
Yeah.
but the pricing. I agree. I would think it's totally fair. I think what really saved them with this was the free shipping, and that's something else we talked about too. Remember, I was telling you, there's these bigger price ticket items like the Vortex Fright Shoot, the Static Six stuff. They usually try to do people a solid, and uh, they'll do the free shipping. And I think, especially now, I think that's something that needs to be highlighted because everybody's very quick to bash on them about stuff. And when they do something like this, it's like a topic of conversation for, 5 seconds, but then it gets forgotten. So, I mean, I think they handled this one pretty well.
You know what I find myself needing now, though, right?
What's that?
I need the Gold Squad Commander now.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You like him better than the blue one?
I never had him.
Yeah.
I never had the Gold Squad one. That was one of those ones that was one of the. Wasn't that a surprise drop? I'm pretty sure it was a surprise drop, and I missed that one.
It sold out quick.
Yeah, and that was one of those ones I wasn't even connected at the time, and then I found out, I missed it.
Yeah. See, like Todd felt the same way. I think it should have been a little bit less, but the price is fair. That's what I've been seeing a lot of people say. Like, they think it's fair. Of course, you're gonna get like people say, I don't think so, but the question is the pricing for the Land Reaper. It's got to be 250, 275. Yeah, people could do like different math and say, oh well, if the exclusives, if they've been running around whatever it was, 116 to 120 or something like that, you knock that off the price point.
Yeah,
It's 200, 225. Do you feel like that is going to be worth that amount? But the good thing about all of this is this is their offering to everybody, and even though everything seems pretty positive, if it's something that you don't feel the value is, there's so many other companies. I mean, God, dude, you got Valverse, you got Joe's, you got third party companies making stuff. So like to yeah, I grabbed one, no taxes in Oklahoma. Yeah. But there's so many other things. There was some other stuff that I had about this. And another thing about the price point I liked was um it kind of shut down some of these things where people were saying, because we talked about it on the show, like what we thought maybe the value was, or what we would like the price point to be, and then what we kind of thought in reality it would be.
yeah,
I'm glad they did this, and I hope people paid attention, because in groups you would see people talk about the price point, right? And it wasn't for a price point of discussion. It was more of like using it and weaponizing it. Like, oh, it's going to be $500, $600, $700, $800. They're fucking us. And it's like, I hope people see that kind of stuff. That was the whole purpose of that last episode, was like, don't listen to what everybody else is saying, because it's taking you out of the element of it. Like, let them do whatever they got to do, and then afterwards, I totally understand it. But to like hype yourself up and say it's going to be $700 or $800 before they even put out the actual price, you're just creating undue stress.
Yeah.
I almost say, don't tell my wife. Screen cap forwarded. Was it shipping is an expense? It shouldn't be incorporated in the cost of the shipping is an expense. It shouldn't be incorporated into the cost of the item. I'm trying to get that one.
He's saying when people look at it, they shouldn't hold the company accountable for the shipping part.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look
Oh
at
yeah.
it separately.
Yeah. I feel this is a better value than the Vanguard. Yeah, but there's, I'm sure there are people that, that rock with Action Force, and they're like, I like the Vanguard better, or I don't feel like this is worth the price point. I think that part of it kind of gets lost. I think people just need to understand that whatever the company is, whatever they're charging, that's what they're charging, you know? And
Yeah.
there's so many other options. Free figure, vehicle priced well compared to other companies. So see, yeah, it seems like a lot of people they're okay with this. I do think the free shipping was something that was really solid. Like you said, if you would have got on and you saw the price point and then there was the added whatever the shipping cost, people would have probably.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this? Because this is when this is, how long has it been since you picked something up?
It hasn't been that long because I got Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up picking that up, and then I backtracked and got Tangerine too. I got
Mm-hmm.
Agent 75.
Yeah.
So Mezco's had my number lately.
Got him.
yeah. They gave me a little bit of a reprieve, but now they've opened the floodgates. Now come on, Captain America and Thor.
Definitely a better deal than the engine has left. I still wish they would have done that. Paige, don't compare McDonald's, man. It's $35. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess you can look at that too and say, is that worth the value or anything? Yeah, this is, dude. I like this. I like how they handle it. It's gonna be. I'm excited to see when people get it in hand.
Yeah.
And they actually get their thoughts on it. I think it was marketed pretty cool. All of this stuff looks good. And of course, I've seen people say, "Oh yeah, this is the same figure. It's different. It's obviously some of this is repaint and some of the stuff that we got from before, and then it's a mashup. But these are new. These aren't new boots. I know that. I need to like take a look at that vest. I don't know if the design's the same, but I know that the stuff on the back and everything, like the patchwork and all that stuff, that's different. This is this is cool. I'm happy with this, man.
We're host and his wife found his box of Mezco. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they did pretty well with this. 35 Mickey D's. Just do some catch up. Did you have any other thoughts on this one?
I was still shocked at the price because I just didn't believe it. Just the idea of Mezco's first kind of full size 112 vehicle, if you will, being this affordable kind of just makes you wonder what we're going to be looking forward to, in the future. What it does show is that they're very conscious of the current market. You know what I mean? Like they're obviously in tune and they understand that a $500 vehicle wouldn't have moved as quickly today. You know, everyone would have been scoffing at that, regardless of the paint apps and things. I think people just don't have the the extra funds to just drop it a dime like that. So kudos to them. Hats off. To put a really affordable offering out there, I think it says a lot. Great awareness on their part. We said it last week. They may not communicate, but they listen.
That's why I was trying to tell people the last episode, from that time that video leaked until now, and I saw it a little bit, but even if those couple of comments were seen, at least that reached them, and maybe that was something that they considered. You remember we talked about free shipping on the show.
Yeah.
And most of these conversations that we've had, like on the show, they've been in regards to certain things like this. But that I think that's good feedback for them.
They got me. I sure said if it was over $300, I would pass. But they had to throw that damn free shipping in there.
And the market research for the upcoming vehicles. This is all the way around. Yeah. I saw thank you, because I've been watching it too. That's why I keep looking at my phone. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I was trying to see when it waitlisted. But this is also a good gauge for the Land Reaper too.
Yeah.
I personally think, I know that it's I know it was a prototype, but that thing has way more detail.
We can wait till next year for that.
Huh?
We can wait till next year for that.
Yeah, but if this offering was this much, and let's say that you took the Land Reaper, and I don't know if they would have a figure with that, right? Because we've seen, like, there's images of Woodford in alternate, attire.
Yeah.
And we've also seen Shadow. We call him like the Shadow version of Doc Nocturnal. So I mean, there's possibilities to package that with a figure.
You heard it here. Paige said it's going to be a 2-pack with a vehicle.
No. Three figures in there. But I'm saying that because it is a prototype. You never know. Things may change. They may look at like the price point of this and say, "Oh, let's change some stuff up," or this seems to be the target price point people are comfortable with vehicles.
Yeah.
But that raises questions too. Like, what if all the things that you've been seeing, detail wise with that Land Reaper, if they strip some of that stuff down, paint detail, but they made it around the same price point, are you okay with that? And it goes on the opposite end of the spectrum too. Let's say they do carry over some of that project money from different things, and they say, "Oh, we're going to go all out on this." And what you saw there is what you're going to get. Would people be, we've swung to the affordable offering, right? What if they swing the pendulum back and say, "We'll give it to you, but it's going to be X amount of dollars"?
Yeah.
Like you said, I think next year will be better.
Next year would definitely be better. We got enough coming on this year. They've outdone themselves. This has been an expensive month, man.
Yeah, man. Bro,
all of a sudden, this month added up real freaking quick. Real quick. So.
And we still have those other projected figures too, man.
Well, and not to mention, a lot of us collect other lines. So it's good thing June only comes around once a year. June, July.
For $350. See, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think. I personally don't think that vehicle, price point wise, if it was just selling by itself, $350. I don't know. It was a prototype, and it just. Do I have? Hold on, let me shut this down really quick. Let me go here really quick.
So are you saying, so in your opinion, after seeing it, you would think that the Reaper would be more expensive than this offering? Is that what you're saying? Even though it's a third of the size?
That's why I want to try to pull this up. Again, this is from an eye test point of view. I'm only going by what I saw at the convention. And remember, that's a prototype. And so that thing had so much detail, man. I'm trying to see if I stuck it in anywhere like photo wise. But it had like the steering wheel, there was all these different the interior, the exterior, there was just so many pictures, like 10 times better, and I don't have one.
Maybe they could just sell it as a model set, and we could all just put it together for
Yuck.
$75. Here's
No.
it's a model.
I would not want to put that thing together.
Why not, Paige? Like, you got nothing but time anyway.
No, man. There's like certain things that it's just I wish I had it. Was it at Toys Fair? I'm trying to look. I had like a picture where I showed the interior and you could just see all the rivets. You could see the steering wheel. There was like
It was NYCC,
switches.
wasn't it?
I'm sorry, sir.
Wasn't that NYCC?
I think I'm trying to look at all of these that I had.
I'm pretty sure it was New York. I seem to remember pizza being involved.
Well, the build that I did was for San Diego, and I'm trying to look through all of them right now. But the build I did was for San Diego, and that was nope, not there either. Anyway,
You didn't
well,
do a build for New York?
I did. I did the. I
The
think I
tower
did
thing, right?
the cave. The cave.
Yeah.
That was the cave. I think.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Well,
that's where the Reaper was shown.
well, the first time it was at San Diego because I did the tower for it, the Dock Knock Tower,
Yeah.
and then I did the other one, the cave. I can't find it, and I don't want to keep everybody on hold.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one has a lot of details. I'm pretty sure it's in the group somewhere. But if you want to, like, I know I suck.
It might have just been one of those things we never get, Paige. It'd be like a grub, the life size grub. It'll just travel from convention to convention to tease folks, but you'll never get one.
If some dude takes pictures of him all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got him on his kitchen table over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's fed and taken care of very well.
Yeah.
That thing is cool. I don't know why that hasn't come out yet. I know that they tried different versions of him and stuff. I love the Grub Nocturnal one.
Yeah.
And I really like him in that Void Cadet suit. I don't know why. It would
They
be
could do a grub of death. That'd be cool too.
yeah, they had a Batman one, a Superman one. Let's not forget about the Batmobile they showed back in the day. Yes, they did show that. It was like a YouTube video, but he did also, when they did the hangout with him, he did say that that was parked in the garage indefinitely. So, but maybe that's something good too, because now if you're gaining steam and there is a market for vehicles, you know. I was happy with 360. Oh, okay, I'm trying to.
I don't think you'll ever see anything else 89 related again.
Yeah, I heard getting the license rights for Nichols is impossible. It'd be nice if they sold their vehicles separately down the line without the figure. If they do these well, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Gives people an option. One other good thing is like networking. I think it's still up, but networking if like people, like we talked about before, maybe you don't want the figure, but you want the vehicle, and just kind of talking to people, working stuff out, networking with the community.
What is that?
You know. Any news on the Mezco Godzilla 1954 figure? No, they had one. I remember put that up, and but again, that was a prototype. But I thought it felt really cool, man. And that thing has been on display for probably close to 2-3 years now, under those hot ass lights, and it's still holding up.
That's a
I took
single.
it out. I did. I took it out, and you know you don't want to mess with it too much, but I took it out and I was messing. It was like little arms, like T-Rex arms. So I'm like messing with this thing, and I'm like, don't do too much with it, Paige. You know. And
Yeah.
then I was looking at it to see, you know, if there was like cracks or anything like that, and it was still holding up. I don't know what the hold up is with it though, but you know, I think that that's about 2 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
and
need to
that's a
see that one this year because I pre-ordered that one, so we don't need to see that one this year.
yeah. Land Reaper definitely has more details. Yeah. I think it's inside of the room. Look dope though. Yeah, and Jay, he's a very good source of information because he got it and he took some pictures, some great pictures. Nice job, man. And I said that stop motion was really good, but I was talking to some people who actually, and Jay was one of them, who you know who had the complete version in their hand. I think we talked about pricing too, and I think this is overall a win.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So we're good with this.
We're good with it.
Okay, good. It meets the show's approval. It passed.
Yeah.
It passed the house.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Mezco did a little too well with this one. Like I said, I was hoping to be able to pass on it.
Well, it says something if it got you to buy it. So,
It did. It did. I don't part
um,
easily anymore.
all right, but so you're comfortable with it, though, right?
Yeah, like yeah, I just feel like I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, I think MC, even through his, even through what he was going through, he still picked it up.
Did he?
That's dedication. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. That's
Well, he was messaging the day before and was like, "Is it up? Is it going? What's going on?" So,
MC's got a heck of a garage he's working on.
yeah. So this is the last thing I had, and this is con related. Don't have the space. If they sell Death Adder as a single packet like they did Void Cadet at SDCC 23, I like the date drop. I like the date drop knowledge. I would totally go for that. Camo matches Mezco's Firefly. I just bought it. Criminally underrated Mezco. Yes. You know another thing that flashed in my head when I saw this, and I don't know if they're gonna do it. But you remember in the Void Cadet comic, they had Death Adder, but he had that. It was kind of like a Destro design. But when I saw this, I thought to myself, is the jacket going to come off easily? And if it does, could you kind of fudge it with another jacket or a trench coat? Maybe make an alternate Nick Fury character or do like that Han Solo Death Adder kind of character and add
Yeah.
him to the Void, you know, the Void Cadet stuff. I asked last show if 450 was the breaking point. I'm so glad it was 225. Yeah. So, how do I summarize this? So, Comic-Con is coming up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to be PC.
Yeah.
Trying to be PC. So, Comic-Con is coming up. No, sorry, I'm checking. Let me check this. Make sure that it didn't waitlist.
The season of unrest.
No, it's good. I think it's cool because most people like when I go to the con, the last couple of times that I've went, it's a different experience when you're online. It's reality. I
Yeah.
guess that's where you can start, right?
Great segue.
Yeah, it's kind of like your little toycation, right?
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of new stuff, everything that's coming out the next year. You get to grab exclusives. You get to network. You meet people that you meet people that you haven't met before, and you meet some people that you have met before. Friends, enemies. And I saw something the other day, and we kind of talked about it. Obviously, it's not like a surprise conversation, but I saw something the other day, and it was an exchange between two people. And the phrase that I saw was, "I'll see you at the con. And it wasn't a nice, I missed you and I'm going to see you at the con.
Yeah.
It was, I'll see you at the con.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thoughts
When
on that so
keyboard
far?
warriors collide. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to imagine that when you consider that we're a community of collectors that collect toys.
Mm-hmm.
Like what could ever be so serious to where it would be even worth entertaining the idea of having to meet someone in person to quote unquote hash it out, right? It's like
You said hash it out.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you know, anyone as a parent, you know, you got a kid and you ask them, you know, well, what happened?
Yeah.
And you know, inevitably you always end up saying, was that worth it? And I'm like, it's almost like you got to ask these adults the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened? And oh, what happened? And when you explain it out loud, it's gonna sound stupid, right?
It does.
Like if you have someone sit there and tell you a story, well, you know, I was online and he said this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, it's not gonna sound good if you
Yeah.
have to explain it. So, you know, the question I would ask anyone is that worth it? Just the time, effort, energy involved in
Mm-hmm.
an online feud, it just boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. The the block button is so handy. And it's my favorite tool in the world.
Yeah.
In the world. I couldn't even tell you at this point how long my block list is. Because I just don't have room in my life for ignorance. I honestly wish there's like a block list or a block button like in person. If I could block people like in person, oh my god, that would be just the greatest invention ever.
Yeah.
If I could just make it to where people just, you know, I didn't have to see, you know, just hit that button, and then even if I walked by them in the mall, I didn't see them. Oh my god, that would be incredible. Incredible.
There should be a. Honestly, this is how I feel about this. So, do we talked about that before? That guy that said something to me,
Yeah.
and he was like, I'll see you at the con, cocksucker." I still got that screenshot.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll see you there." I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I'll see you there." It's
Yeah.
different when you see somebody in person.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
I know I have glasses. I'm not being Big Billy Badass or anything, but when you see me in person, it's different.
Yeah.
And I didn't see this person.
Well, your doctor said that.
He said, "You fat ass." I swear to God, if somebody comes up and says it to me at the con, I'm gonna say, "Okay."
Yeah.
No, but like that's the point. Like with all this stuff, like I know a lot of people say certain things, and you know me, I'm more proactive than reactive. I don't understand how it even gets to that because some of these people they live in your city, they live in your state, let alone the same city. You
Yeah.
know, and so I'm surprised it even gets to that because eventually, if this is a niche, you know, it's a niche hobby. You're gonna see these people, and I don't understand why it even escalates to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the real key.
We're probably the same age, and so and it was this the rule. You know, when you were growing up, you never said anything unless you knew that you were going to say it to that person's face,
Yeah.
right? You were
Yeah.
going to see that person at the monkey bars at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. That was before the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where that got lost. Maybe people think that it's not, and so when I see some of that stuff, I'm like, and I've been at the con, and I see it, and there's people that I may have had issues with, or I do have issues with. I just don't say anything to them. There's no point. You're not going to fight at the con, which I started this comment, but I think that would be funny. You want to make the con interesting. Can you imagine if you did put content creators against themselves? Because that's all this is. It's a bunch of WWE hype stuff. I
Yeah.
hate you. I'll see you there. Okay, fine. See you at the con. You send, you know, you do, You make a little section, and content creators can fight each other, and they can do it for money and stuff, and you can donate for causes. It's a win-win for everybody. But this
Would you
stuff,
watch
like,
it?
huh?
Would you watch it?
Would I watch it?
Yeah.
I might watch some key matchups, but I don't know if I would support it.
Yeah, you don't need the pre-fight card. You just want the main event.
It would be funny to see some of, like, no names. I'm just saying, we all know that there's certain things with certain people,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure somebody would say, this person, that person, that's a money match.
Yeah.
I want to see that,
Yeah.
you know? But it doesn't happen. And I have not seen it personally. I know I've only been to a couple. I've been like, what, maybe 6 or 7 right now. I have not seen somebody walk up and throw down their bags and say, guess what? Let's go. I've never seen it.
The loser should have to stay offline for the rest of their life. That'd be great.
It's a career ruiner.
Yeah, because then it's a win-win. Because then you're going to lose at least one.
I just don't know how it gets to that point.
Get some of these guys off the air. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
it's silly. It's silly, man. We're talking about toys at the end of the day.
It is, and that's the thing too. So I will give everybody a little cheat sheet really quick. I try to be very positive. There are certain people I don't get along with, and I don't want to get along with those people. But anybody that I have an issue with, I have very legitimate reasons why. And the way I will handle that is I won't speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty about it. I don't work for Mezco. I'm not threatened by somebody saying, "Oh, I'm going to do something" or something like that to you
Ann's
physically.
listening. I said Ann's listening.
She is. Well, she knows too. No, I don't beat her. I don't beat her.
Yeah.
It's not a beating if you don't leave marks. But, but like, but like you, that's the way I'll handle it. I won't. There's no reason to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
And I would rather just keep it that way. And what works for me may not work for other people, but I just don't see a bunch of people like throwing down at the con.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it gets to that point, but I saw like a couple of people go back and forth, and I'm like, ooh, gosh, this is gonna be crazy, man. Yeah. And then but I don't know how it gets to that point, and I know how I deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, so I know you haven't been to con, but like, if that happens to you, how do you handle that?
Well, we've already discussed my favorite tool to use, but
block button, yeah,
the block button is real easy. But what people also have to understand is that not all comments are worth engaging, right? Like there are people that you can have interactions with online and have a two-sided conversation. But there's a lot of folks that you just can't. Like you could hit them with any facts or rational or logic that you want to, and some people are just there just to stir the pot. Mm-hmm. So there's no sense in engaging with those folks. But it's definitely no sense in ever engaging to the point where we're talking about physical confrontation. Like that's gone too far. That's gone too far. Even to the point where when it goes to the DMs. You know what I mean? When it leaves the comment section and goes to the DMs, now it's gone too far because now you're saying things that you're ashamed to even say in public. I don't engage with that stuff at all. I had one situation in a group that I left years and years ago, and it started off political, right? And it kind of went from political to, in my opinion, racial.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I commented because I didn't appreciate, the racial undertones. Mm-hmm. And it's not like it was a back and forth, but I made my comment basically stating that, I don't appreciate this in a toy group of all things, and there's no place for it there. Right. So, before you know it, now I've got guys coming in my inbox trying to defend, racial comments, and they are all blocked, right?
Yeah,
they're all blocked. I didn't engage with any of them. I just cut it off there. But that's the type of ignorance that I will not tolerate. And the great thing about the internet is, guess what? You don't have to tolerate it.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, you don't have to listen.
Yeah.
They're one block button away. That's all it is. It's that simple. Turn them off. It's that simple. Enjoy the rest of your life. It's not worth wasting time on little people like that.
Yeah. It doesn't. I bring it up just because I see it a lot.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that I'm like I said, I'm from a different era, and I wouldn't say anything to anybody that I wouldn't say to their face. And that includes private messages too. I have no problem. And if you do enough digging, I guarantee you can talk to a couple of people and they'll say, "Yeah, he talked to me about that." And if I share something with you, MC or whoever, and somebody came up and said, "Hey Paige, CC told me you said this," I would say, "Yes, I did. You want to talk about it?" I have no problem doing that because I think it's better to inform somebody because sometimes people don't know what they did,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't want to be some guy that's holding a grudge. So there may be a miscommunication there, but I tell you what, after we've had the conversation and you do it again, I'm not dealing with you. I don't have time. I don't have the energy for it. And I don't like people that are fake. I don't like people that'll say, "Yeah, man, won't happen again." And then you go around and do it again. You're done. I don't have time for it. So when I see stuff like that, I think the same lines. I'm like, don't deal with it. And
Yeah.
don't make it awkward for people. If you're going to go to the con and you talked a lot of shit, I think you should go up to that person. You should say the same thing. And if you can't do that, don't talk shit online and don't talk shit to them there. But I don't even think it should get to that point. I think you should have a conversation with the person and then you say, "Hey, these are the things that I don't agree with that you did." And then there's some kind of either resolution to it or there's a dissolution of it. you know,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't deal with it. But when you're at these cons and stuff, just remember all the stuff that you said about people. I'm not talking about me. I could care less. I just see all these things, and I don't want people to go to the con and say, "Oh, damn! See what happened at the Bandai booth?" No, I didn't. I'm stuck here. Did you get footage?
Yeah.
Did you get some footage? Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna post it on there. Do you think a lot of that's for content? Now that I'm saying that, do you think a lot of that's just for content?
Yeah. Yeah. With certain folks is for content, and then for other folks is just pride and arrogance.
They're just mad because they had the same crust as the cloud. Yeah,
Pride
yeah,
and arrogance can be a dangerous thing.
it is, man. Yeah, I think, and and you know what? There's been times I've been at the con, and like I said, you can ask if you do digging, you can ask certain people. There's been times I've been at the con and I'll have a conversation with somebody that there was a miscommunication with, and I'm very open to have those conversations. You know, because maybe there is a miscommunication between person, but after that, I don't kind of like let it get that way. And like I said, I just see it happening. It'd be cool if it didn't happen. And I know there's things that people can do to avoid it, but it's the con space. You would think that everybody's there just to network and have a good time. And I want to have a good time too. I will have a good time, but I'm not gonna let somebody come in and mess up my energy. You know,
Mhm.
I work too hard to get to that position, regardless if somebody thinks that I did or not. And I'm not gonna have somebody come up to me and say, "Hey, you deleted my post. That's bullshit." Yeah. All right. Group hours are
Are you
when I get
stereotyping?
back.
Is that what they all sound like? Are you stereotyping?
No, I'm not. They don't say that. It's not as bad as it used to be. I used to get a lot of those, and then now I just explain it, and people, I've had people say, "I don't agree with that." Okay, yeah, I understand, but these are the reasons why, and they'll say, "Okay, I respect that, but I don't agree with it." Yep, I totally understand. It's not just for you; it's for everybody else.
Can we make the agreement that everyone should just take more deodorant than they take beefs to the con?
They should. They should. I have it on hand.
That's the stick you need to be carrying. That's just Yeah.
That would be the ultimate payback too. Somebody try to fight you, and you just, okay, man, come here, give me a hug, give me a hug,
Yeah.
and give him a hug, and you be like, you stink really bad, bro. Is that like a mental fake out? You smell extremely bad, and
Yeah.
I don't want all that funk on me with us
Yeah.
tussling on the floor. Dude, man, dude, it's yeah, and I guess like to wrap that up, dude, just be cool. Just be
Yeah.
cool with the con. Like, let all that stuff simmer down. Even if you have nuclear heat with somebody, you don't have to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, you really don't.
What's that you say all the time? Remember, it's just toys.
It is just toys. My other saying is, I don't hold grudges. I just hold you accountable.
Something about your water too, isn't it? Didn't you steal that one?
No, that's the other guy,
Yeah.
who is
Yeah.
a good guy, by the way. I do not
Yeah.
have nuclear beef with.
Yeah.
Don't want him jumping on me, trying to
Oh,
beat me
we're gonna have
up.
to start that Kendrick beef. I'm gonna have to start spread some rumors online between. Did you hear about Paige and D?
Oh no, don't do that. Oh god, man, no.
Paige dropped a diss track.
Oh no. He and I have an he and I have an agreement. You know, we're good friends. And the thing is, I told him, I was like, because you know how like you have friends and there'll be that kind of like chitter chatter stuff.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, if you ever hear that I said something about you or I did something or whatever, I said, please call me so we can talk about it. And I'll make it clear. I
Yeah.
don't want to lose a friend over some
Yeah.
like, and he wouldn't be that way
Yeah.
anyway, but you know how people try to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's like,
You ever
pay,
heard this story that Dave Chappelle tells
what's that?
about the beef between him and Cat Williams?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Tell that one. Tell that one. I remember that.
Such a funny story. Such a funny story.
Yeah, tell it. What is it? It's like,
Yeah, yeah. So Dave Chappelle says he come to find out, he's not on social media or whatever, but there was a guy on Instagram that was pretending to be Dave Chappelle.
yeah.
And he said he was going to put a stop to it, but he realized after following the guy for a little while that he was actually funny and
Mhm.
he enjoyed getting up and reading everything that the fake Dave Chappelle said every morning. And he said all of a sudden the fake Dave Chappelle got real bold and started this online beef with Cat Williams.
Mhm.
So Dave Chappelle said that the guy was saying some really hurtful things, and he was concerned about the problem it was going to cause,
Yeah.
and that Cat Williams was saying some stuff that hurt his feelings. So he said when he saw Cat Williams in public, he pulled him off to the side and said, "Hey man," he's like, "I just wanted to let you know that that stuff on Instagram ain't me." And Cat Williams said, "Okay, I ain't got Instagram either." So it's a fake Dave Chappelle arguing with the fake Cat Williams. Is hilarious,
I,
hilarious.
didn't they say they figured it out too? Like they figured out who was doing it and everything.
Yeah, yeah, hilarious.
Yeah. It's very different in person, and in good ways too. I remember
Oh,
when I met Son, I was I've had some really good moments with people at the cons. Yimbo was a really good moment with him. And Son, he was a that was I don't know how to describe it. It was really good energy. He was really nice, walking around the booth and stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff that I look forward to. And that's the kind of stuff I want to pour energy into. And it's just I hope that more people have that. And you know me, I'm more preemptive than, reactive. And I just don't know why you would build up all that animosity
Yeah.
and think that there's not going to be some kind of payoff. You got to please bring comfortable shoes and Axe body spray or Dracar Noir.
I think Nick's got a great idea. What if Mezco did like convention exclusive, like body sprays and deodorants?
Like Grub.
Yeah, like right at the booth.
Yeah. Pink skulls, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. I hope everyone has a good time. I hope everyone's good to each other. And I hope that if you do have something with somebody, you just kind of like walk on by, you know?
yeah.
New from Mezco. All right. That's all I had. We almost had it at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions really quick? I want all the smoke. I'm gonna see. He's gonna come up and he's gonna go. He's gonna come up and go, Paige. Shit.
Yeah. I didn't mean it.
I did. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, that
I'm
would
gonna
be
make
cool.
sure he's in your diss track too. I'm gonna have AI generated diss track between Paige. Be amazing.
No, don't do that, please.
He said your poison's weak.
No, don't do any of that, please. Yeah, that would be the biggest thing. I would never want a friend to be like. I think we've had that conversation too, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's like, yeah, something happened. Just hit me up. Was it for real,
We'll be
man? Love
good as long as we get our 200 views a week.
Y'all better hurry up. It's almost there. Y'all getting fired. I'm gonna hand the chair to Kadeem if y'all don't make this 200 happen. Bringing all the flip ups. Oh, Kadeem, I saw those ones that you had. I saw an advertisement for the. I don't know the brand name. I forgot, but I saw those. I was like, oh, those are stylish, bro. Those look nice. Yeah. Anybody have any questions about San Diego? CC, do you have questions about San Diego or things you're looking forward to? Or
Man, I'm nervous.
why?
There's just so much stuff that's coming the rest of the year, and just it doesn't. I kind of thought that things would be slowing down, but it's not looking like it's going to slow down.
No. I have a feeling this convention, there's going to be some really good stuff shown. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they kind of put anything that they've kind of teased or revealed. I'm hoping we'll kind of see that stuff in figure form, and
Yeah.
I would definitely, like I said before, take all that stuff with a grain of salt. If it's a prototype, just be like, yeah, it's a prototype, proof of concept. I got what's coming on, and work from there. I do think we're going to see a lot of good stuff, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Grub's centerfold. Is it bad? I have a shot list that I want to do with him. I do.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do this Grub series. Oh, so for people that are watching, I know a lot of people dipped out just now. I want to do this Grub selfie series, and I'll show people when to get there. But you know how like girls and stuff like that, or people are always taking selfies and stuff like that. I want to do it from like Grub's perspective, but then you do different people from the Mezco community and stuff, and do like a highlight reel of that. I think that would be really cool. Hopefully nobody tries to steal them. Do you think we'll see another exclusive? I hope not, to be honest with you. I think we're good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I don't need any more. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine we'll at least get a pre-order though.
You think so?
Seems to always be the trend. Something will go on pre-order towards the end of it.
Yeah. And then they need that cologne. Yeah, so that grub juice. Hoping for Hulk. I think Mezco could make the new Superman look good. See, I've been seeing a lot of reviews. I don't know if these are paid, but everybody's talking really highly of this movie.
I'm going to double down on my opinion and say, like I said, this is just my opinion. I think James Gunn appeals to a certain market, if you will. So I think it's going to be one of those movies you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. There will be no in between. Be very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, very similar to Peacemaker. If you're not into it, you're not going to like it. If you are into it, you're probably going to love it.
So no chance of putting you down for a Steelbox edition.
No, I'll catch it on streaming.
Man.
When I say streaming, I mean free streaming. Like I'm not paying the $20 to rent it. It'll be I'll catch it when it's on TNT.
Yeah. I saw two questions. So since they dropped the RUMBLR, what are the chances We get another 2 Rumbles. Oh yeah, the MacGuffin and Dippo Doms.
Mm.
When I saw the box, that gave me hope.
Mm.
It's almost like it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, or them acknowledging, saying, "Yeah, we know that we're putting this vehicle out. That's a plus."
Yeah.
And then on the poster art, they're like, "Yo, here are the other 2 Hazard Squad members. We didn't forget about it. It's just gonna take a little bit, I guess. You know?"
Yeah. I don't need
That
them
movie,
by SDCC though. We can wait. Take our time.
yeah. I just like the fact that they showed it. It's almost
Yeah.
like they're saying, "Yeah, it'll happen." That would be a good question to ask them. So,
Let's save something for 2026, shall we?
oh yeah, Todd, did you go see it already? Superman is nothing like Peacemaker or Suicide. It's a family movie. Okay, Superman animated series in live action. I'm very curious. Were those in the casino box art at the tables? There's a bunch of characters in that they could use. I know they did 10. Who's that? Joffrey, and they did a bunch of other, characters that I could see them doing. Oh, he said he saw it last night. How many stars? I don't know. I was really excited. The casino villains. Yeah, like they had oh my gosh. His name skips my mind. The one, that a couple people made a custom out of it. He had a skull and he had the heart on his eye and stuff like that. I forgot his name. Damn, it's been so long. But yeah, never came out. One Eye Jack. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. Thank you. One Eye Jack. All right. It's 10:22. Went a little over.
Yeah.
Went a little over.
Yeah.
What did we learn? What did we learn?
Wear deodorant.
That's what encapsulates the show. Wear deodorant.
Yeah.
Everything we talked about. Yeah.
That
One
was
Eye Jack.
away.
I made the custom. Yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah. I forgot it was unique. It was very good. All right. You want to take us out?
Remember to help control the pet population. Please have your pet spayed or neutered.
Mm. He said 4 out of 5. David was a great young Soups. It's very much like the cartoon movie, and he had a fun time. I heard there's some really good chemistry between him and Lois. I heard the dog, it's Gun, so of course,
See, for me, it doesn't sell me on the movie because I've told you before, I like my DC gritty.
yeah. Jeff O'Ray was in the early short. Yeah, they had like some detectives, or trench coat guys. I still want Pig Brute. That would be cool to see. But yeah, I don't know. We've been sending clips about Superman, and I don't know, just the quick clips I've seen. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, wait, but everybody's saying it's great.
Yeah. I'll take my chances. Bring on Batman 2. I need the Batman 2 to come out.
Yeah. Do you think MC will go see it? Maybe that'll be something. Maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
Sawyer will make that call.
Yeah. All right. So, what we learned, I am still the Tuesday night comic book champion with my easy victory the other day.
Yeah.
It was the easiest layup. Well, injured reserve, man, got some stuff to do. What else? Oh, really quick. I did narrow it down. I think I may have said this last episode, but I did narrow it down to a couple of venues that'll get solidified when I get there for the Mezco meetup. Once I kind of make sure everything is good to go, I'll make sure to put out a post. And the time is most likely going to be 9:30, 10 o'clock. Make it flexible.
Will there be a referee?
Yeah, it's going to be Mezco Fight Club.
Steel cage match.
That's right. And if it's your first time at the first meetup, you got to fight. No fighting.
First rule of Mezco Fight Club is we don't talk about Mezco Fight Club.
We'll probably have to call it something else, like Mezco Rumble something.
You might not want to use Rumble.
Oh, because it's too on brand.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to get in
Because
trouble.
the Courage is fighting. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, the times most likely is going to be 9:30, 10. Make sure I announce that. The venue, I'm going to go check that out. The good thing about the venue is it's the one that I really want to do. It's very big. And again, this is just to bring people in so everybody can meet each other, talk and stuff like that. But the venue's big enough where if there are people you don't want to talk to, you don't want to meet, then you got plenty of space to move around, right? Try to take all these things into consideration. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Grub will be there. I did get Darius to say that we're going to do, not we, he is going to do like maybe like a drunk posing workshop. I don't know. That would be something. And then Grub will be there. I'm going to try to bring the exclusives to the show. I mean, from the show to the meetup. So if people weren't able to get into San Diego or just weren't able to get the exclusives, at least this way we can all pass around our germs and we all fondle one or two of these figures. How about that? Right?
He's bringing the baby oil.
Yeah. Purell. So somebody will take pictures. Oh, it's already flaking. No. But yeah, have the exclusives there so you can kind of like take a look at them and stuff like that if you didn't get a chance. Maybe giveaways, maybe see how it goes. I've had a couple people reach out to me and they were like, "Hey, I got this figure. I would like to donate um to the meetup as a prize." And I'm like, "You don't have to do that." They're like, "Please." And so
Wow.
there was that. Yeah, I was like, "Okay." So see how that goes. But things are slowly developing and they'll be a little bit more solidified. Like I said, when we get closer to time, and I'll make sure I advertise all that stuff. I hope as many people can come, they come, and even if you're a casual fan or diehard fan, if you want to come, throw back some drinks, eat some food, talk to some people. This will be the first one, so it's special. What else? Oh, and then there are some people that they may not be able to go for whatever reason. I'm gonna try to bring an extra camera and do some sporadic live streaming. Maybe we could catch a fight. Just kidding. I'm joking. I don't want to see any of that. But yeah, just to if you're and again that'll be it might be a little bit too late, but at least people will be able to maybe watch it back on a replay or something. But it's to kind of you know get people to if you can't go, you'll feel like you're there. If that makes sense, right? Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. He said he's gonna bring the baby oil. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. What is this here? The tone is stark difference from the Snyderverse. It's a great kids movie. Yeah, man, I want to go see it. I think I might go see Jurassic Park. I heard good things about that one too.
I do want to see that one.
Yeah. Minis, I'm so glad to see you. Hope you're doing well, buddy. It's Wednesday. That's right. Return of the Grub. Yeah. I feel bad. His little outfit's like it's breaking down. I mean, he's what, like 4 or 5 years old now?
Wow.
Yeah, and that little guy's been handled a little bit. I'd like to see a posing session. Yeah, something like that. Maybe how I said live streaming. Maybe when D does that, can have a camera kind of around and him showcasing him doing that and stuff. So
Kadeem said he was going to barbecue.
did he?
Yeah.
I'm bringing the smoke,
Yeah. Ribs.
ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, our first fight on the card. I'm excited to see Grub. I am too. Maybe they'll have a new version. Oh, what would you do if they had an Agent Gomez 75 Grub
Oh, the afro and everything.
with a little fro?
Oh man.
Is a little pick too much? Yeah, I might hit a little bit. Wait a minute. I would buy a little pick just if he had a flocked little fro and a little,
Yeah.
shaft pleather jacket. Oh my god, I hope they do that. My first SDCC, and I picked up Thursday and Friday badges, so I won't be able to meet everyone, but it's definitely looking forward to seeing the live stream if it happens. Yeah. Thursday you picked a great time to go. First day and not a lot of people go, and definitely a better chance of picking up exclusives. If you're, I don't know where you're at, or if you're in the area, I know you said Thursday and Friday. It is Saturday, but if you're in the area and you want to stop by, it's going to be kind of off-site. So you're welcome to go, but if you're leaving, I totally get it. All right, that's it. I think we burned it. Maybe I can go do 30 minutes of cardio because I'm a fat ass.
Your doctor will appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe. Make sure you give us that rum voice in the outro page. Give the people what they want. I don't know what to say. I put an Obama twang in there. I was like, let me put that in there. New from Mezco. All right, cool. Are we done? You only get a snippet. All right, we're good. Thank you, everybody, for watching, whether you popped in, popped out. It was really good to see everybody tonight. How many more shows do we have until that? One more show, right? Yeah, one more show, and then that Wednesday is the week of. Yep, one more show here, and then the next week will be San Diego. So,
yeah,
it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate you. I'm trying to look at comments too. Appreciate the show. Have a good evening. Yep, and you said it. You ended it very well. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Remember, be positive. Have fun. No fights.